milk and movies, movies and milk. Milk and movies, movies and milk. Milk and movies, movies and milk. Milk and movies, movies and milk.
Hey, Matt. Where you at, Matt? We got to review Emilia Pérez.
Oh, you peasants! What is this lonely, uncultured YouTube space of movie reviews? Who are you? I am Johann Skyleby. I am from the highest quarters of Hollywood. I'm here to review Emilia Pérez. This flawless, brave, bold, so bold. What? None of you plebeians never appreciate true art. True art.
True art? What?
It starts off in Mexico. Of course, there need to be a French studio to film it with no Mexican actors because the director had a point. They don't need Mexican actors. They need actors outside of the country. It's about a drug lord. They go into musical, la 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 la. There's this struggling lawyer, who has a guilty conscience. She does, but she deals with racism for being black.
I thought she was Mexican.
Whatever, Mexican, black, it doesn't matter, Latin America. The drug lord sings about having a sex change, la la la, sex change.
How does the song go?
Man to woman, woman to man, penis and vagina.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
Definitely not written by ChatGPT. He transitions. She transitions. She starts a help fund to find missing survivors. Definitely no real Mexican has done that real life. Only this fictional character. Because only when we white liberals are aware of it, that's when there's awareness. Who cares we don't pay attention to it on the news? We need a movie to feel good about ourselves.
So you're saying it's a good movie because it was a Mexican drug cartel leader who wanted to have a new life. He had a sex change. Now she's a successful living and starting a nonprofit organization and trying to make amends with all the people she's murdered by helping their loved one find the remains of their bodies. And that's why it's a good movie?
Yep.
How much is the Academy paying you to shill for them?
Oh yeah, I'm not shill.
Is it you?
What happened?
Oh, thank God. I'm just glad you're back.
Yeah, it was a shit movie.
Alright, so we're here to review Emilia Pérez. This film's getting a lot of Oscar buzz, like 13 nominations from the Academy Awards.
More than Schindler's List, I heard.
Reviews, they started pretty high on the critics, and now it's like 75%, and then the audience review is like 17%. Yeah. So we're like, okay, this is interesting. Either this movie is like really good, like a masterpiece, just people don't get it.
Yeah.
Or it's shit. There's a lot to talk about what we didn't like, so let's start with what we did like.
I liked the cinematography. When they switched scenes to newer locations, there were some really great horizontal shots. But that only made up 1% of the whole movie.
Yeah, I agree. There was some beautiful cinematography at times. Some of the musical numbers, and we can go into that, that's more of the negative side. I think some of the camera work in the musical numbers was like interesting and creative, even though, as we'll talk about later, the musical numbers didn't work for me or you at all. The acting was also solid.
Yeah. I don't think it was too bad, the acting in general. I think the actors did their best to make the most out of this movie. I don't think there was any lack of effort. I think Selena Gomez did a pretty good job.
Zoe Saldana, I think.
Yes, Gascon tried to do her best.
Yeah. What else did we like about it? Is that it?
I think that's it.
I think the first musical sequence in the beginning of the film was okay. I think I liked it somewhat.
I liked it a bit, but then when I saw people with their posters in the background, like they're marching and dancing,
the first one.
I was like, wow, that is like the Pepsi commercial by Kendall Jenner. It's got that vibe.
What do we not like about this? Starting with maybe the plot.
It was bad. It was almost like a parody. We're gonna make a musical, and it's gonna be a drug lord in Mexico and becoming trans.
Yeah.
It's gonna be about that experience. She's gonna help people.
We're gonna have this lawyer, a woman lawyer who's having a tough time, like working under a man, and she's not doing so great, and she wants to have her own private practice. Yeah. She's very like struggling.
Yes.
A lot. And financially, and she wants to get out of that. The plot doesn't really make sense. Like, why? Yeah, this cartel lord picks her, like a random lawyer, to take lead on finding a doctor that can perform a sex change operation on the drug lord.
Yeah.
Like,
also, when we first saw this character, we never knew the background. We never got time to care about this character.
any of the characters.
Yeah, any of the characters.
There's no character development,
No
really.
character development, just because the plots.
I mean, they try to fill that in maybe with the musical numbers, but it's so brief,
Yeah,
and you can't really emotionally connect to it.
none.
They're more fixated on the aesthetic of the musical numbers.
Yeah.
And like the extravagant, the spectacle of
And
it.
they didn't need the musical. Kind of like a lot of critics said, it could have just been them talking. They weren't even expressing the emotions. They were just saying what the plot was saying when they were singing.
A lot of the time, some of the musical numbers, they're more emotive, but a lot of the musical numbers, they're just like talking. It's not even singing. They're just, talking the dialogue, but trying to sing the dialogue, but there's like, it's just like flat monotone.
Yeah.
Man to woman, woman to man.
Penis to vagina.
It's like, this is like a South Park sketch.
Yes. It's not art, it's not bold, it's cringe.
It could have been a more serious focused story, serious drama, having more character development. They have the sex change, and now we skip time, spoilers, we skip going into the 4 years in the future. And both women are doing great. They're both living affluent lives, and they have new lives now. Now she's trying to like atone for her sins, even though you never really felt that there was this sense of like remorse. Now she's trying to open up
like she's Jesus. It was so boring and kind of sad because it showed all these people volunteering. Mexican people like, I'll do my part, I'll do my part. And then it led to this bohemian rhapsody editing, like the adiego of all these volunteers, saying, this is an issue, we gotta find it. It's almost like a cringy 2-hour ad of what's really happening in Mexico, but it's trivializing it in the worst way possible.
None of the characters had any real had to face real consequences. I guess she did in a way because she, spoilers, she died at the end. But but there's no real moments where she's grappling with what she's done as a cartel leader.
She just does it just because.
Yeah, she's doing it just because. Now I'm this new person. I guess I should do good things. Where's the motivation? Where's the struggle? Where's the inner conflict? And how does the movie end?
So a car falls off a cliff. She was in the trunk, and Selena Gomez was in it with her alleged boyfriend, and then it crashes, burns, and they die. And at the end, all the Mexicans marched and made her this saint figure.
Yeah.
And this is the part where a lot of Mexicans were mad. This is the equivalent of making a movie filmed in Europe or Iran, a movie about America, and it's about Bin Laden, and then he does 9/11, he gets a sex change, and then suddenly he gets a new life. The CIA can't find him, but he starts a 9/11 survivor fund.
She was, yeah.
Yeah, Osama Laden, and then SEAL Team 6 kills her, and then at the end, all the Americans treated Bin Laden like a martyr.
So why do you think that critics were praising this movie, were loving this movie, when it seems like majority of the public in America, in Mexico, around the world, is shitting on this movie and calling it the opposite of a masterpiece?
I just think Hollywood always had this culture problem. Any issue on race or a real culture issue, you mishmash these issues trans issues with Mexican drug cartel issues. You mash that together, and then all these critics, people in the industry, automatically claim, oh, it's bold. And most of these critics are just white liberals. They're all a bunch of rich assholes, and they think if they make movies about these, they can feel good about themselves. I've never met any woke person or any progressive who has ever defended the film. The only people who has ever defended the film are people in the industry.
Emilia Pérez, how many glasses of milk do you give it?
A quarter.
Yeah, an inch worth of milk I give it.
Inch. Cinematography is good.
An inch of milk out of 5 glasses.
Yep.
So the worst part of this film, Matt, was there's no milk in this whole film.